What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Ethereum today. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. It is the 13th day of September, and here we are at $4,652 with 8 hours and 6 minutes left in the day. We had a nice little bit of recovery yesterday, 5.6 to the upside, 5.6% to the upside, down 1.27% today. And while that was a nice pump, I do believe that we're going to shake out the markets a little bit here. We're going to get a little shaky over the coming days. Maybe just for a couple of days, maybe just over the weekend. Maybe it's longer lived than that. But I do believe Ethereum overall is on its way to new highs. For a while down here, we were considering that we'd see lower targets down to $4,000 to $4,100, maybe even just below $4,000. But I believe it was the 9th or the 10th. That's whenever we actually flipped this perspective to the bullish effect, right? That's whenever I believe that I think it was the 10th that we flipped bullish. So just in time, just before we had this move up. The 10th has a bit of a sour taste in my mouth, man. Shout out and rest in peace to Charlie Kirk, who was taken from this world too soon, man. Taken from his children and his family too soon. If anybody has a problem with that, I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't. Just because I'm giving my condolences to an innocent man who was murdered in cold blood. If that offends you, I don't. You got some problems, man. You got some problems. I don't have problems with you. I hope nobody has problems with me, but I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, man. That's a very sad day in American history there. As is the 11th. We got 2 days next to each other that are just tragic days, honestly. But on one of those tragic days, and maybe before that day, that's when we flip bullish. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to get distracted. I want to get back to the analysis, but it's just, the 10th is something that I feel like is a bit of a stain on our existence as Americans. And if you don't see it that way, that's okay. Whatever. We can have a difference of opinion. Just, let's not shoot each other over it, right? Here we are. And the reason why I think that we're going to come down on Ethereum here is that, over the past day, we've had more longs than shorts. Over the past 7 days, where the shorts outweighed the longs, they're now decimated in compared to the longs. Right? There are dramatically more longs. Over the past 30 days, same thing. So I think before we move higher, we're going to shake up the markets a little bit. Doesn't mean that we have to see more shorts than longs coming on, but we probably will take down a lot of these longs. We'll probably increase the short positions, and the best way to do that is to start to move lower, right? If we're moving down, that'll probably happen. Now, Ethereum doesn't need it. Nothing like that has to happen. Ethereum can move on its own time. It absolutely can, but I wouldn't be surprised in least if we move lower. I don't think that we're going to go lower than these lows, but again, if we go lower than those lows, $4,100 to $4,000 would be the target area. Okay, that comes back online. I think that some people are probably going to get worried because if we find resistance here, we found resistance here last time. Look at how low we went. They might connect the dots and think that we're going lower, maybe lower than this low, or at least maybe even lower than this low. This could be a lower high, and we're going to turn around here. All kinds of fear could set in the further away we get from this area. But I don't think there's any reason to be fearful. I think that we've got a lot of growth to go. If we look at this on a 1 hour time frame, I really do think that we're going to see an $8,000 price or higher very, very soon. We'll probably be above $8,000 by the end of the year, but we'll be at $8,000, I think, by the end of September or by the end of October, if not sometime in November. 1 hour time frame here, falling off a cliff, right? You had this nice higher low trajectory in your RSI, and now you're falling down. Stochastics look bearish. MACD is definitely building some bearish momentum as well, and you're getting volume as you're moving down. Likely we go lower. Okay, looking at the 4 hour time frame here. 4 hour time frame. I want to take the high to low. Let's take the high to low. Yeah. High to low here. Golden ratio. Actually, you just missed the 786. We're at the golden ratio now. I mean, this could be a good area to find support, honestly. But the 1 hour looks terrible, so I don't know if we do that. I would think the fact that you rip through your golden ratio like this, typically you come back down to your 382 area, typically. So maybe something that's just below $4,500. We see that between now and the end of tomorrow, or maybe the end of the next day. Very, very soon we'll probably get to those levels. And then from there, continue to rally, okay? I'm guessing that we go just below 4,500, if not 4,568 at the very least. But I'm thinking we backtest this prior area of resistance for support, and then we continue to rally. Something in this area at least, between 4,560 to 4,480, something in that area. That's where we're going to go. And at the lowest, I can see us going down to about 4,380, okay? At the lowest, 43.75 technically. From there, we will continue to rally. Looking at this 4 hour time frame, the RSI is pretty bullish overall. Stochastics are bullish too, and the MACD is bullish, but coming down here, crossing out of the overbought zone, typically you would at least go to the 50, if not the oversold zone, and expect to find support in some of those areas. So depending on how low we go with the stochastics might dictate what we do in the price. If we're at 4,568 and the stochastics are here at the 50, that might be a good area to bounce. If we push below the 50 on the stochastics, we'll probably push lower on the price as well. Looking at this on a daily time frame here, ooh, it looks like we're rejecting the overbought zone. That's not good. I don't like to see that. The last time we rejected the overbought zone, we saw quite the hiccup in the price. Actually, let's see here. Right, rejected the overbought zone here. You saw a higher high even, and then boom, you went to lower lows. Could we be getting? Is this a massive bull trap? Could we be seeing a lower low? I think that'd be fantastic. I mean, not saying I want to see that happen, but I just, if we went lower than these lows, man, the whole market would throw a fit. The whole market would throw an absolute fit. If Ethereum's seeing a lower low, everything else would, and a lot of people would be really scared. Massive capitulation, massive fear would set place, and then we would likely rally. I don't think that's going to happen, just because that happened last time, right? With this high to low, we went all the way to the oversold zone. I don't think it's going to happen here, but you know, we've rejected the overbought zone before and still continued to climb. I think that's more likely what's going to happen, but still, I don't like seeing that. Stochastics are bullish. MACD flipping up here, bouncing off the zero, that's bullish as well. So one bearish thing versus two bullish things. I think the bulls will prevail, but maybe a little shaky before we start to prevail, okay? Looking at the weekly time frame, RSI looks very bullish here. The stochastics are extraordinary, and the MACD is also very bullish as well. We absolutely have more growth to go. There's zero doubt in my mind that we are going to see new all-time highs. We're on the precipice of seeing new all-time highs any day now, any week now. Probably not today, probably not tomorrow, but maybe the next day, soon enough. The next target area in question to pay attention to would be about $7,700, and I do think that we would see that $10,000 price or higher by the end of the year. I think that we would go up here, maybe consolidate a little bit, and then end of year rally go into here. Absolutely, I believe that Ethereum will see a $14,000 price or higher by the end of the cycle. 22 to 26.8K, that's the target area that I believe we're going to see by the end of this cycle, and that'll likely be achieved sometime in Q2 of 2026. That's my guess. Here we are at $4,600 now. That's a ways away to go. Don't get shaken out. Don't fall prey to these longs right now. Maybe just stay away from leverage positions until we're actually breaking out. That's my opinion. Do whatever you want. You know, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but I do assume that we're going to continue to rally here pretty damn soon. I've got nothing else for you guys. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one, okay? Hit the like button, subscribe. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.